Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We just hit the Oodnadatta track. She's open. It's been a bit of rain around the last few days, and I think they copped some storms the other night, and yeah, a lot of water around, and the road's pretty rutted. Also still fairly corrugated in spots, as you can probably tell from the bumps. But yeah, we haven't got any real plans today. Just go as far as we can. Probably land at Coward Springs, not sure yet, but we'll check back in later. Rolled into this like art park, but it's about an hour out of Maree. Just side of the road, there's all these sculptures dotted around the paddock. Terminator there over my shoulder next to the ute. We're going to have a bit of lunch. I bought a pie in Farina. It was too early for lunch on the Farina bakery, the famous Farina bakery, and just chucked that in the pie one. We're going to heat that up and eat it now. No real plans at the moment, just heading to Coward Springs. Obviously the road conditions aren't great. You would have seen that in the footage. We're in the Flinders Ranges before we came here, and 2 thunderstorms whilst we were there overnight. One of them dropped 2 inches in an hour, and all the gorges were awash with water, and they shut all the roads, so we didn't get to see much of the Flinders. We'll be back there soon, I think, just to see it properly, but didn't get much time there, didn't get to see much, unfortunately. So we're a few days ahead of schedule because we got out of the Flinders because there was no good staying there, and we're on the Oodnadatta a few days early. So no real plans, haven't really worked out what we're doing. We'll just head to Coward Springs tonight and see how we end up. Yeah, so I just rolled into Coward Springs campground. It's a cool little spot in amongst the shrubs here. They've got hot showers. It's $15 per adult per night, so $30 for the 2 of us tonight. And yeah, the little spring over the back here, you can go and have a bit of a dip apparently and have a bit of a wash. Hot showers, fantastic. They've got these wood-fired donkeys to heat up the water, so we'll have one of those later on for sure. It's been a few days. But yeah, just going to chill, probably drop a couple of steaks on a fire. They delivered a fire pit for us as well for free, which is great. So yeah, we'll get the fire going and chuck a couple of steaks on and probably drink a couple more of those actually. Yeah, I'll tune in later. Hey guys, we're on the road again. Just left Coward Springs campground. That's a cool little spot. Highly recommend heading there. They've got this little spa bath which is fed from the natural spring. We didn't end up jumping in that. It was always full of kids, and you know what kids do in baths, right? So no, we didn't do that one. Give it a miss. Go back next time. So we're on the road again. Don't know where we'll end up. There's a place called Alga Buckana Waterhole. It's about 3 hours away according to the maps. We might plonk in there a bit later on and see if that's the spot to camp. It gets pretty good reviews, so we'll check that out when we get there. The roads are pretty hectic, some serious corrugations, and a few ruts and a few other things to jump over, but I noticed a few screws came loose yesterday on the trip into here, so I'll have to keep checking those each day and make sure they're all tightening up. We'll check back in later. Yeah, it's pulled over on the side of the road. There's this old ruin and an old car here called the Carp. From what I can tell, it's got it written on the door. I'm not sure where it's from or what it's for, but it's pretty cool. See there on the door, the Carp. Yeah, and this old stone ruin behind me. I haven't got any reception anywhere out here. Telstra's hopeless. There's a bit of Optus in places, but basically can't get any reception until you get into the townships, I think. So I can't check what any of these things are, and if there's no sign, I've got no idea. So yeah, stay tuned for more travelling tips with Perpetual Transient. Yeah, track's been pretty cool. Changing landscape. This red sandhills just kicked up in the last sort of half an hour. They're really cool. Such bright red. Really stick out in the landscape. Quite interesting. And you can see all the remnants. There's been a fair bit of the Garn railway line, which is obviously the track follows the old Garn railway line. You can see a lot of that on the western side or the left hand side as we're heading northish on the track. Yeah, it's remnants of it pretty much all the way along, and obviously a lot of the campsites and stuff that we'll head to will be and points of interest will be related to the Garn railway line. Yeah, car's going well. The trailer's towing well. It's handling the corrugations pretty well. I'm glad I got those airbags. I reckon that's just stopping it getting shaken to bits, which is good. I just copped a stone off a truck, actually one of the ones we just passed. You would have seen in the footage. Flicked up a stone and put a nice little chip right in the centre of my windscreen, right in the driving viewpoint, which is not good. Anyway, hopefully it doesn't get any worse and start cracking across the screen. This is the beginning of 5 weeks I'm doing. Got a bit of time away, which is awesome. We're on our way after Oodnadatta. We're going to head towards Alice, and I'm just not sure which track we'll pick. Whether we go the chicken route on the dirt, on the tar, or go a bit more exciting and hit the bins. I'm not really sure what the plan is yet. We're going to get to Oodnadatta and ask a few questions about conditions and stuff and see how we go. Just pulled over on the side of the road. There's a salt lake here. I noticed all the shiny stuff in the banks, which is gypsum, I'm pretty sure. There's gypsum on the way down to the waterfront here, but we'll check it out when we get over there a bit further and see what it looks like. Yeah, it is gypsum. Big crystals of it just everywhere, littered on the ground. Quite cool. So the salt, obviously, salt lakes, they evaporate. The water in there is saline, it evaporates. Crystals form in the warm water as it's evaporating, and they settle out in the sediment. So you can often find, I don't have to be any here, but you can find gypsum roses, which is like a really cool crystal form. Looks like a rose in really highly saline and evaporative environments. You'll get some really cool shapes like that. This is just the sheet gypsum, still cool, but not quite the same. You can see heaps of it over here. We'll head over and have a look. It's getting closer to a desert rose type shape. You can imagine each of those little crystals as they sit up. You put them in an arrangement where they form the shape of a rose with the petals. That's what we're looking for. Just cruising into William Creek, cool little town. We're going to get some fuel here, I think. We haven't had breakfast yet. It's late morning. It's actually nearly midday. We haven't eaten, so we might pull in here and have a bit of grub. And then we've got about another 130 k's, I think, to get to the waterhole where we're going to camp tonight. So yeah, we'll check back in soon. So what's for brunch? It's actually nearly midday, so I'm making lunch rather than breakfast. Carly's going to have eggs on the grill. I've got leftover chicken curry from the other night. Chuck it on a wrap with coleslaw that's pretty much at the end of its tether. And should be good to go. Oh, and a bit of bone broth. I'm making some bone broth. That's the good stuff. Chuck a bit of miso paste in as well.
Makes it taste better.
A bit more damage on the front. It's going to be a costly track, this one. Just back on the road again after William Creek. $3 a litre there, the diesel, which stung a bit. It cost me nearly $200 to do 3/4 of a tank, which is pretty scary. But anyway, needed the fuel, so what do? Landscape's changing heaps along the road. There's like big flat expanses, and then there's now we're going through creek crossings and tree-lined creek crossings and so on. I see Wiki Camps is showing a lot of campsites along these spots where you could just pull in next to these dry creek beds and camp. They look quite nice, but we've still got about 100 k's to go. I think we'll get to this waterhole we're aiming for. Really got to drive to conditions as we get through the country that's got rocky outcrops beside the road. I noticed the road just turns into solid rock basically with sharp edges. So it'd be doing the tyres a lot of damage, I imagine, but the underside of the caravan wouldn't be looking too fantastic either. But you get that on these tracks. All in all, it's not too bad. I'm sort of maintaining 70, 80 k's an hour. Sometimes I get up to 90 on some nice bits of track, but other times you're dropping back to 30 and 40 to go through gullies and washouts. But it's been a cool drive, lots to see. But about another, I reckon, an hour and a half we'll be at camp. We'll check in then. That was worth the effort. Right there, I reckon. It's definitely home for the night. Just us and the flies. See who else turns up a bit later. I'm assuming it'll be quite popular because it's on Wiki. Look at that. Absolutely sensational. Couple little fire pits here. It's only 19 degrees. Not sure that's warm enough to jump in, but should have brought the yabby pots. Can't believe I took all the fishing rods out and all the yabby pots out for this trip. Oh well, live and learn. I don't know if you can see them. Those flies are insane. So glad these nets were in the van. I didn't even think about bringing them. They were just there. This is an awesome spot. There's probably 5 or 6 different little camps along here. Each with their own challenges to get in with a van, but the one we got was pretty straightforward. Obviously, first in, best dressed. Might throw the drone up and show you what's going on.
you.
It's the business.